Hello, amazing family. How you all doing? Hope you all are doing great. Good to see you all. Like it's been a while. It's been a while. Actually, I could really say that it's been a while. Why am I here today, guys? It's my testimony. I've come here to share with you all today. It's been a grace of God. My growing up in the UK, it wasn't easy, but kind of people, I met that come across in my growing up in the UK. It wasn't fun. One of the basic things that gave me the mindset or the courage to come and tell this testimony is that I watched a girl that lost her life due to BBL. And I'm like, yes, I could remember that age. It was really, really misery, but we're just acting our age, but we never saw things like that. I never had a BBL, but I went bleeding. Yeah, I did went bleeding. It was sewing, like it was really, really sewing, and the sense of my tears, my blood was just mixing up. It wasn't something I would encourage or tell people, advise someone to go into. Anything bleeding under the knife, it's horrible. The pain, the aftercare. I was left with, you know, everyday petroleum jelly that I have to like use on it to make it heal fast. But my greatest fear at that time was, what if another, what if somebody had gone then? If you know what I mean? Yeah. What if somebody had deleted, if I'm going to use that word? And the second part was that, what if somebody dies and then judgment, the person faces God and then God starts saying kind of marks on that person. I don't know what's, it was really, really terrifying. I don't know the word to use. But basically, let's just start into this conversation because I really feel so encouraged, empowered. And I know a lot of girls might be thinking of wanting to do this stuff. It's not a joke, to be honest. It's not a joke. It's a thing that keeps people in pain for a very long period of time. I'm so glad that I can go back. I was supposed to do like 3 sections, but I only had one section done. And I said to myself, I wasn't gonna go back to it again. Now, what happened in my 20s? Yeah, everybody wanted to lead up, look beautiful, look assaulted, if I'm going to use that word. Yeah, look, you just want to look good. So the idea of, going under the knife, the idea of, adding more to your look was really, really the leading thing at that stage of my life. My peers were really like going into awesome, but I decided, okay, I'm going to, make up my mind and going for the microblading. Microblading of those days is different from the present days you see here because these days they've got a lot of technologies that could really enhance or boost certain things, but also with various side effects of it. Guys, in my 20s, clubbing, in my 20s, partying, in my 20s, lot of check. Yeah, in my 20s, lot of check did happen, lot and lot and lot and lot and lot. So guys, I made up my mind on a very good day. I said, okay, I'm gonna go for the microblading. Guys, I went there. Hey, it wasn't what I thought it would be like. It was like blading and stitching, blading and doing this, that. Although people said that's the normal way of doing it, but to me, guys, because of the pain I experienced, I could imagine somebody would have like gone for BBL, trying to get the fluid out because for some reason, every area, every part of the body that you take out or you add must surely accumulate fluid. How do you extract this fluid? It's a very difficult thing. And when it starts there, it causes all sorts of infections and things like that. I had my eyebrow done like this one, both of them, yeah, both of them, it's all faded and thank God it's faded. I'm going to show you guys the pictures of it. It looks like them days. So guys, I had a microblading. At first I was excited because it's going to be like an addition to my look at that time. Though I was acting my age and at that time, it was something I really, really want to explore, really, really want to do because other people had done it and said to me, oh, come on, it doesn't hurt. It was so good. It was so this, that. I took their word for what they say it would be like, so I got involved in it. Getting involved in it, guys. Oh my god. At first, yeah, it's some anesthetic being used, but sometimes it might not really work for that person. Mine didn't even work like, it didn't work like that. Instead, I was in a growing pain. I thought the thing was gonna end like get on, boom, 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 boom. No, it was just like that, like that. The pain was just constant, constant, constant. I was feeling this ache. Like the pain was just extremely, extremely too much. I didn't even know what to do at that time, but I had to bear it. I couldn't even finish it, but it hurts. Like it does hurt. And aftercare, ah, the aftercare of that, I think that's the hardest part, in the sense that even if you've had a baby or if you're wanting to have a baby, at least you could cover your butt with some kind of boo-boos, boo-boo wears, like big wears. But for me at that time, there was nothing for me to cover my face. So my face was looking lumpy, if you know what I mean, like block, you know. I was left with petroleum jelly for weeks. Mine didn't even heal that fast. I complained like I was in pain, really, really in pain. Even at that time, I said to myself, because every one of you know I'm not busted that much. I love to be busted. Like I really, really like it. Since my 20s, I was complaining I wasn't busted enough, but thank God the lady now brought me like a silicone that could just like stick on me, and it just makes you look like pumped. That is in my 20s. All this and that, they said, all in my 20s. But my eyebrow, the silicone I didn't have to insert in my body just to stick it on. It was so good. But what I want to say is that I'm just surprised at things that we don't pass. It's just like past tense for people like us that live in the UK. It's becoming a normal thing in Africa. Girls, it's not worth dying for. It's not worth going into. There might have been some that I done it and well done with a very good professionalist like here. But for some reasons, always have this in mind that for the fact that it worked for one person doesn't mean it might work for you. There's always the pros and the cons that comes along with saying things like this. But I want to tell you today that if you're thinking of going under the knife, think twice. The pain ain't easy, man. Ooh, it's the pain. I'm telling you guys, the pain is out of this world. I've had 4 kids, and I'm going to tell you that the pain of that activity is worse than contraction. I'm going to say that because at least when you're betting a baby, you expect it, and even if you've had the baby, you still giving it. You'll be giving the baby to like feel it, and then you know what's up. But this is either you're left with lumps or you're left with some sort of scars, different things. So if you're thinking of going for an aesthetic surgery just to, enhance your look, and think twice, because it's delicate, very, very, very. When people tell you there's a side effect and something like that, I'm not saying don't believe them, but I want you to have it in mind that what if something goes wrong? I'm so glad that it's all faded for me, in the sense that when I think about what I've done in my 20s, man, I don't know how I'm going to explain it, but I did a lot of things in my 20s, yeah. If you guys do not grow up in the UK, yeah, and I will tell you guys, we had it all here, in the sense, we had it all here. Like, everything was open to us, like, we're not educated about that aspect, but we're educated in other areas, like when you turn going into adulthood and stuff like that. But we're educated in certain areas like health and stuff like that, growing up to be, what we want to be and stuff like that. But for the area of enhancing body lift and adding to it, feelers and stuff, we're not even educated for it now. So it was something people at that time would either go to the States, because the NHS wouldn't fund such at that time. Because when it was popping, this was in early 2000s, it was like, it was really hot. A lot of girls were going to the States to get themselves registered for it, to get it done. But for us here, we couldn't afford going to the States, so we were just going to the local one. I never had a BBL, but I know someone who did a BBL at that time. I saw her on Friday before the weekend of that day. On Sunday, I learned she was gone. She was deleted. What happened? I never knew that Friday we were chatting, talking, like she had booked for a session in the States to get a BBL done. I'm not going to mention name, but you, my pairs, you know what's up. Let's not go into, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to mention them. It saddens my heart that she passed on like that. But these girls are doing things like that just because they look up to certain celebrity at that time. They look up to certain people like me, you know, saying things that lure them. For me, I looked up to them. I'm not going to lie to you because I wanted to be this, I wanted to be that. It was all black, you know, piping hot in my brain, like the kind of chromosomes and metabolism, little like sparking in my blood at that time. At that 20s, it was really, really hot. You know, now that I've grown to an adult, I can say to you guys that as you grow older, all these things kind of just slows down. And it's something I'm going to say to people, think twice before you go into it. And if you're going to go into it, make sure it's a well-professioned, you know, specialist that's got a very good analyst as well. You don't just go into because you've heard or you've seen stars and how they're being rated. But as well, check the analyst if you can. You know, sometimes analysts won't lie, but, you know, seeing is believing. The lady I told you guys that passed on that time, I saw her on a Friday. On Sunday, we heard she was deleted. How come? What happened? We never knew she had a session in the States, you know, and it's so sad. And at that time, I done my eyebrow. I was thinking of going for my boobs, you know, having my, you know, I was thinking of things like that already. But thank God I met this lady who introduced me to the silicone. She actually gave me the silicone. She brought that from the States and stayed. But that's why you didn't have to insert it into your body. All I just needed to do was just to stick it on and it stays. At that time, I was literally wearing it. I was enjoying it. Because if you know me very, very well, you know I'm kind of girl, like, I do like most inner wears. I'm not going to mention, like, most inner wears. I don't really, really like them. I just love to be me, to me, and things like that. So, guys, that was how I found myself. Gave me eyebrow done and, you know, using some silicone for some time. You know what I mean? Things like that. So all these things did happen in my 20s. A lot of things did happen in my 20s, but this one I have been encouraged to come and to raise awareness that you don't have to dwell in plastic surgery. You have to learn to be contented. I know at that age when I did it, a lot of girls are passing through unstable, abnormal metabolism, chromosomes, everything sparking in their health, and they didn't even have anyone to like guide them or like talk to them. I never had anyone to guide me. I never had anyone to say to me, oh, okay, don't do this. Why don't you try this before you think about this? You know, but for some reasons, it's just a thing that you just want to add to be part of your beauty. If you got me, even if you're going to take a photo, but you just want to see looking nice. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to wake up in the morning and start, you know, trying to make it look straight and like that. You know, but it did lasted for 10 to 15 years, I remember. Like I said, I'm going to show you guys pics. You know what I mean? So it did lasted like that. But one thing I would say is, if you ask me would I want to do it again, I would say no. No, because I can't take things like that anymore, because my skin is gone soft now. I can't take hard stuff anymore. Like you all know, I'm no longer my 20s. You got the money, you want some fillers. Well, if you think it's great for you, if you think it's what you want to go into, I would say things like this are on a long process. It's not something you start and just, you know, stop. And it's not something that you start and at the end of the day, you don't go for follow-ups and things like that. No, you have to go for follow-up at all time. Most people have this problem when they fail to go for their follow-up, referrals and stuff like that. They don't have people like to cancel them, like I say to people that how I wish NHS would make counseling compulsory for everybody, like especially nursing mothers, because the troubles of being pregnant, having a baby, sometimes they need to like be able to express themselves, talk about it, calm them down in a very personal, sensitive way, of which they reflect more and understand where they are at that place and being aware of themselves. Things like that. So before you go into things like that, be aware about yourself, who you are. We feel a lot because we don't know who we are, we're not content, we just want everything, we just want the whole thing happening. But the thing is, the moment you take a break, understanding who you are, what you want, is this what you're going into, is it going to add or is it going to subtract? Most people might have done certain things to add more to their wages, and most people might have, subtracted certain thing just because they prefer to be content. For me, my eyebrow going through the bleeding that time, it wasn't something I was aware of myself. It was just something I wanted to do just to enhance my beauty. And for the silicone I was given, like to stick on my boobs, at the time, I wanted to go for a full surgery for it. I said if I have money that time, I would go for a full surgery to get it done. But God knows the way it works. The money never came. And before I knew, I started having kids, so it wasn't necessary anymore. And that was how I long time just, put it aside. I didn't even want to think about it or even talk about it. So in my 20s, I did a lot of things. I did no shit. I'm sorry. I did it. I did the microblading. Though it might look as if it's normal, a lot of people do it. But my experience at the age when I got it done was my problem. Yeah. And because of the girl that passed on at the age of 20 due to BBL, I could understand. And tell you one thing, if you had said to that lady, stop, she would listen because she didn't, thinking everything, it's just packing. I don't even know, I'm going to say, if she had had someone to really guide her, if she had had a close friend, probably a close friend would have been thinking, okay, don't do it, what did it? Maybe they might have debated and about it on and off, but who knows, she's gone. But I felt encouraged to come and talk about my own story, like I should let people know that, adding to your health, to your beauty, because everybody's beauty for some reasons. I always say it's everybody's beauty in their way, in their own way. You're all beautiful in your own various ways. Like if you think of adding fillers to have a pop lips, adding filler to have things, things like that. It's, you don't do it and stop. Always seek, go to seek for advice, like from a proper senior consultant, if you have to. Don't seek advice from people that have not been through it, that doesn't know what's up, that doesn't know how it hurts, that won't be able to guide you through, but just for them to say yes or no, to get rid of that conversation. Yeah, a lot of people have asked different questions, they needed a desperate answer, but due to yes or no, they were gotten rid of. And this is what lack of understanding can cause. Lack of awareness can cause it. Lack of self-worth. Lack of values. I lacked those things at my 20s. I had the good, the bad, the beauty, things like that in my 20s. You don't know, if you grew up in the UK, we are just open to a lot of things. Like, we're so privileged to have, everything is there. If you're even tired, you don't know, you go to your GP, they might prescribe or tell you what's up. There were a lot of facilities. But it just shockings me, like, what people have forgotten about, what we in the UK are not even thinking about anymore. People in Africa are just picking it up. Somebody better get up and advise, young ladies, talk to them. Minister of Health, what are they doing? Women Councillor in Africa, what are they doing? You guys should get up. Talk to your youths. Talk to your ladies. Speak for them. Create awareness. It's just a shame when I see a lot of things going on in Nigeria. Look at ladies, women, they don't even have a voice and stuff like that. But let's not even go into it. Push it aside. All I want to say to you out there, it's got good and bad side. But for me, it wasn't the right option. It wasn't. I cried. I was left with pain, with petroleum jelly to always rub it through so the fluid can really, really dry up. But certain time, the fluid don't even get dried up easily. I was on bumps lungs for weeks. I couldn't hide it. My parents were asking me what. They couldn't even look at my face twice. At least with the silicone, I could wear clothes in it. But I wasn't inserting it. I was just sticking it on my skin. But the reason why I stopped using the silicone, because it started becoming all thin, and I was scared of certain virus when I patched on it. So I had to dispatch it or dispose it, whichever one. So that's the way it is. Thank you guys, thank you everyone for listening to me. Thank you. It's my story, my 20s. This is just one face that I just would never forget in my life. Because that girl's story, it did touch me. And I had a lot of people talked about it. But I see that nobody has really come out to say what really happened at that age and how people get rid of people just because they can advise them or they know what to tell them, but due to the fact they don't want them to understand whatsoever, they just tell them yes, no, just to get rid of them. Like I said, lack of self-worth, lack of values, lack of awareness, and so on. In our ladies today, ladies, be contented, have self-worth, and also have self-values. It will help you, not just today, but future as well. If I can literally stand up to show you guys, now I'm not using anything. I don't have a lead on my eyebrow, but that's it. You can see no lead at all. I don't have lead on it. I do not have lead on my eyebrow. If you guys look at it, no lead at all. You see? But it's not there anymore. Look closer. Can you not see it? It's not there anymore. You can still see the mark. Yeah, but I think it's faded, isn't it? This is just my skin. Yeah, so that is what it is, guys. Self-worth, self-values, and stuff like that. I hope my story will be able to encourage some other person to really come out to tell theirs. I think I watched another girl with she talked about hers as well, that she was going to get her implant removed as well. There are a lot of things that we can call implants, anesthetic, even your contraceptive are part of your implants in your body. So seek for the right one to do before you risk your life going into things that are not worth dying for. Yeah. But until I come your way next time, I remain your girl, your host, Pusula Maria. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Au revoir. Bye. 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 Bye.